Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are heading back out to Lazybones Boot Fair, and I've not been able to get here for a couple of weeks due to weather or just not actually being able to get here. So really looking forward to getting in and having a look about. We normally do fairly well here, so yeah, fingers crossed we have another good day. They are just about to open the gate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot off, get in, and then yeah, we'll go and see what we can find. You're right. Hello. How much do you have on all the Marios?
Go on.
That and then the Pikachus.
So these are £1 each, that's 4.
Yep.
I'd say £10 for that.
Yep.
This one's the pop one, so £3 for him and then 50p each for them. So what's that? 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, £18.
Do 15 for the lot?
I can't, mate. This is like brand new, he's never played it.
Yeah, no, it's 10 for that and then 5 for these.
£18, I can't drop it. These are...
Sorry?
No, £18 for the lot. How much is this one?
Okay.
£2? Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll take the Mario Karts and the games though.
That's a 10, so it's 14.
So 14, yeah, that's fine.
2.
There's that.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, cheers.
Bye bye.
You all right there, mate? How much do you have on the Mega Drive?
It's just an empty box.
All right. Well, can I have a look?
Yeah, you got me excited there, man. I think.
How much do you want for the box?
£5.
Yep, I'll have that. Box my one up at home now. There you go. Cheers, mate. It is.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for that, buddy. No problem. They're like the pennies, isn't it? You've got well back there, you specialise in G.I. Joes. It does. Right. Well, even like planes and ships and all that.
Yeah, stuff just sold into computers and that stuff.
We've got planes and helicopters.
Do you want me to put it aside? Because I've got
5, 7.
yeah, pay for this. Yeah, and then pop back or... I'm happy to hold it aside. I don't want to move it.
Hello, my friend, how are you?
Yeah?
You alright?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's a good game. That's a good game.
You know thing, yeah?
Come round that way, take up, get round that way.
Yep.
Not too
Watching myself. Yep.
Are they yours?
Yes, they're mine.
Oh, well, they do like that.
Yeah, all right, mate. Got those 4. Do 15.
How much have I got on?
That's a couple of quid off.
chucking at the moment.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Oh, good song.
Just be good.
No, I mean, yeah, one. I know something like that.
Did you have any other PS? Did you have some other PS4 games?
My algorithm. So only this one here, bro.
It's just these ones, yeah? How much do you want for that one?
If you want to sell for 5 each.
5 each?
Yeah. My algorithm.
Mama.
Oh, what ones you got? Oh, hello.
Spider-Man and SpongeBob and
Injustice.
Yeah. I saw there. He was playing a few times and.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm awful for checking.
Oh,
so like, I bought one.
Yes.
I bought one the other week. I think it was Gran Turismo on the PS4. I get it home and it's the PS3 disc in because I forgot to check.
I don't know actually. Yeah, it's better to check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do 20 for the 5?
They say those is potato cheese. Huh? He's not so happy because you know, we pay a lot of money because sometimes it was 18 pounds I think each.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's not happy with this one.
No.
For 5 each. I think it's a good price.
Right, I'll tell you, I'll just get those 4 then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so that is going to wrap up our trip to Lazy Bones, and yeah, really chuffed with what we've got today. Some absolutely amazing pickups, and yeah, probably the biggest PS4 haul that I've ever had at a boot fair. So let's dive straight in and we'll have a quick look at what we got. So the first bits that we're going to look at is a couple of bits that I got from the very first stall. So normally when I arrive, there's this one stall that's pretty much done setting up. So we got in, sort of, I literally went straight to this stall and yeah, found some absolute belters. So the first thing that we picked up was a set, and I'll try and get them all on my hands at the same time. A set of Mario Kart figures. So we've got Bowser, Donkey Kong, Princess Peach and Toad. Not too sure actually. I think these predate the film. I can't see a date on them. But yeah, looking at the characters, they just look so similar. Oh, here we go. So the Donkey Kong's got it. Nintendo 2012 these were released. Yeah, it's amazing how close these are to the actual characters from the film. But yeah, so we've got 4 of them. I think there's probably another 2 that I'm missing, which is Mario and Luigi. So I might look to try and track those down. But yeah, I saw them, thought they were absolutely brilliant. I will admit, I tried to do a bundle deal with this seller, but they would not budge. And yeah, I think in the end I was like, I'm not leaving them, so I'll just pay it. So yeah, I ended up paying £4 for all of these, so £1 each. Looking them up online, they go for about £9 as a set of 6. So with the Luigi and the Mario, yeah, it's £9. So not a massive saving. I think the sellers probably looked it up beforehand. But as I say, the other thing that I actually got was something that I do not find at boot fairs. I know a load of other guys do, but I just don't. And that is a Switch game. So we've got SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. So this is the sort of HD remake of the is it PS2, Xbox and GameCube game. Yeah, it's an alright game. I will admit I'm not a massive fan of the sort of HD sort of cartoon graphics. I don't know why, I just don't like it. But gameplay wise, it was fine. It's your sort of standard SpongeBob game. I'll have to admit, I was never that into SpongeBob. I think it come along I was a bit too old for it by the time it sort of come along. But as I say, it was a Nintendo Switch game at the boot fair, so I was going to pick it up all day long. And yeah, so got it for £10. Looking it up online, it goes for £15 at CEX and £11 on eBay. So yeah, once again, I am pretty much convinced that the seller knew what they were all worth, had looked them all up on eBay beforehand, and was essentially sort of selling them for close to sort of eBay pricing. But as I say, it's a Switch game, and I was more than happy to pay that. So yeah. Next up, we have got a PS1 game. But the only problem with this one is it is just the back cover and the disc. There's no front cover and there's no manual. And that is Small Soldiers. So yeah, it is, I will admit, the back cover itself isn't in the best of conditions. The side of the case is all smashed in, and that's sort of ripped and damaged, the spine of the cover. But yeah, just not in great condition at all. The disc is fine. I have played the game, and yeah, it works with no problem. It was quite an interesting one, this, because I've played other Small Soldiers games, and they all very much followed the film. This one doesn't. So where you actually start off, you're in, I think it's basically a Gorgon sort of facility or something like that, and the commander elites are basically invading, and you're sort of tasked with sort of fending them off. I don't know if later on in the game it picks up the film, but for the first couple of levels that I've played, it didn't. Graphics wise, it was meh. It wasn't amazing graphics, it wasn't terrible graphics, very middle of the road. But yeah, it was an interesting game, and yeah, just gonna have to have a look, see if I can sort of recover the cover and maybe find the front cover and manual. So for that one, we paid £1, and it goes, disc only goes for £6 on eBay. Then next up, we've got a game that I have been dying to play since I saw it. I think it was originally on an E3 announcement, and that is Days Gone. So yeah, I absolutely love this game. As I say, it's a game that I've been wanting to play, and actually being able to play it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've probably only put in about 45 minutes into it. But for that 45 minutes, it was really enjoyable. I thought the gameplay was brilliant, the graphics were amazing, and yeah, definitely looking forward to delving deeper into this. Probably got the benefits as well because I was playing it on the PS5. I think with the PS4 might have struggled a bit with it, but yeah, as I say, really impressed with this. What did we pay? We paid £5 for that one. Goes for £8 at CEX and £11 on eBay. Then next up, a game that I wasn't as impressed with, and I'm not too sure whether it's a remake or a sequel or just something completely separate, and that is Road Rage. So yeah, I'd not heard of this before, but obviously I know it from the sort of classic Mega Drive game. Main reason I picked it up was because I hadn't sort of ever heard of it, and I have to say I was not overly impressed with it, let's say that. I think the graphics would have looked low end on the PS3. So for the PS4, they were sort of very unimpressive. Gameplay wise, once again, it's fine. It's not particularly bad, but it's not overly interesting. It's sort of circuit racing, and that's about it. Yeah, it didn't blow me away. which was a bit of disappointment because, yeah, I thought if it is a sequel or a remake of the original Road Rage, it's a very much a letdown for that game, shall we say. So paid £5 for that, goes for £8 at CEX, £9 on eBay. Then next up, so actually so far all of these PS4 games actually come from the same seller, and so did Small Soldiers, and I think this next one's the last one that I got from that seller, and it is Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. I was actually really impressed with this, really enjoyed it actually. I've only briefly sort of dipped my toe in the Final Fantasy games when they were out on the original PlayStation. Never really got into them. I have put a bit of time into Final Fantasy VII Remake, but yeah, as I say, from what I played to this, I was really impressed. I thought graphically it was really good. The story was definitely one of those ones that sort of really drag you into it, and yeah, definitely one that I want to put a bit more time into. So for that one we paid £4, goes for £5 at CEX, £6 on eBay. Then right, so then we've got another load of PS4 games. These all the remaining PS4 games all come from the same seller again. It's actually a different seller this time, and the first one we've got is actually a follow-on from last week. So this is Injustice 2 on the PS4. So we got Injustice on the Xbox 360 in the last boot fair video. So yeah, really happy to have this. I have to say, this one, just like the first one, is, from what I've played so far, absolutely superb. I purposely haven't played too much of this because I want to actually go through and play the first one through before getting onto this, because the stories, it is linked. So the story in this one follows on from the story of the first one. So yeah, very much want to experience the first game before really delving into this. So £5 we paid for that, goes for £4 at CEX, £5 on eBay. Then next up we've got sort of a double, but sort of not, and that is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottoms Rehydrated. Not a game that I've seen before. So yes, I saw this as we were going round. Obviously we picked it up earlier on in the day on the Switch. I'll be honest, when I picked this up, I can't remember if I'd picked it up on the Switch or not. Yeah, just can't remember whether I did or not, but yeah, I got it in this bundle, so was sort of more than happy. So everything that I said about the Switch version, just copy and paste that over this. So we paid £5 for that, goes for £12 on both CEX and eBay. Then a game that's not surprisingly, but actually, hey, I'm a bit disgusted in myself that I didn't have this in the collection yet, and that is Marvel's Spider-Man. So I do need to replace the case. I think I have got one kicking around the game room that I can switch into, but yeah, I have just hadn't played it. I think I got what did I get? I got the second one. Yeah, I've got Miles Morales on the PS5. I actually got that with my PS5, but stupidly enough, I didn't actually look for all the bundles when I picked it up, because then after I ordered that PS5, I then saw another bundle which included this as well. So yeah, I was a bit gutted, but I'll be honest, I just wanted to get my PS5 pre-ordered. I haven't actually played Miles Morales yet. Once again, I wanted to grab this one first, play this through, and then jump onto that one. So yeah, I saw this there. This was probably the top game out of this bundle that I got. So, and I have to say, what I've played of it, yes, I am actually really enjoying it, and can see why it's as revered, or as enjoyed, sorry, as it is. So obviously the second one has recently just released. So I've got a bit of catching up to do. So once again, paid £5 for that. Goes for £18 at CEX, £10 on eBay. And then this was the last PS4 game, and actually, when I was looking at these games, it was one of the ones that I wanted to make sure I grabbed, because at the time I hadn't seen it before. Since picking this up, I have seen it a couple of other places now. And that is Jumanji, the video game. So I have to admit, I love the Jumanji game, the Jumanji films. I remember watching the original one with Robin Williams in cinema, and the two newer ones. I tend to sort of put them on in the background when I'm working at home. So yeah, wanted to pick this up, wanted to have a look at it. It's a very meh game. You can definitely tell it's a licensed game. Yeah, it just didn't. I'm trying to put this in the most positive way I can. It just didn't feel nice to play. And it's not anything in particular. I just didn't find the gameplay engaging. The controls were a bit weird, not unusable at all. But yeah, they just didn't feel comfortable. And I know that's probably the worst description of a game you'll ever hear. It was meh, but it was uncomfortable to play. But yeah, I'd say I was disappointed playing it. That's probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, as I say, it was one of the games that I wanted to pick up and never sort of seen it played. So I wanted to try it, and I can now say that I've tried it. So for Jumanji, we paid £5 for that one. Goes for £8 at CEX, £9 on eBay. Then we've got 3 more pickups, and the last one I am so happy with. So the next one that we've got is another game, and this is Terminator Dawn of Fate on the PS2. I will admit, I think overall the Terminator games I actually think are really well done, and I'd say that sort of broadly across most of the games. Now, my first Terminator game that I ever played was right the way back, was T2, an arcade game on the Mega Drive. And then I also think I played, like, I've got RoboCop versus Terminator. I remember playing that as well. And yeah, I have to say, all of the Terminator games that I've played, I thought were actually really good. Once again, this one was as well. I thought at parts it was, especially in the very early stages, it wasn't giving you the prompts that you'd needed that would necessarily help you sort of advance in the game. It took, there was bits where I was sort of fumbling about to try and actually interact with something or get something to open or sort of move on to the next bit. But after you sort of got the hang of it, it then actually sort of worked quite well. And yeah, once again, sort of played through, I think it was at least the first level I got through. And yeah, it was an actually really good game. So for Terminator, we paid £1 for that one. Goes for £1.50 at CEX and £4.50 on eBay. And then right towards the end of the boot fair, I was walking past the stall and I saw this, and yeah, I was asked the seller what he wanted. I think he said £5. I sort of negotiated him down to £3. And this is the POG Micro Tournament Game Pack. Now, when I was in school, I was massively into POGs. So POGs were the sort of the big thing just before sort of Pokemon cards dropped. And actually, I was massively into POGs. But then when the Pokemon cards come out, I was just a bit too old for them. So didn't really get into them. Unfortunately, looking at my shelf now. But yeah, I was massively into POGs, and sort of over the last few years, while I've been at the boot fairs, if I see anything to do with POGs, I do tend to pick them up. So I saw this there. It was a really unique pack. So it's got a whole load of pogs in. You can see them on the back there. A whole load of slammers and everything like that. So yeah, ended up getting this for £3. Looking it up online, they go for about £20 on eBay. So yeah, really chuffed with that. And actually really glad to have that in the collection. You know, it's a bit of a sub collection for me, but yeah, I do really enjoy sort of the pod games. And then we get on to the piece de la resistance, the creme de la creme. And it is a box for a Mega Drive. It hasn't got the console in, it is just the box. But this is the exact same box that my original Mega Drive come in back in 92, Christmas 92, Christmas 93, one of those two, when I actually got it for Christmas and ended up jumping around the room with joy. Yeah, I am on a massive binge at the moment, and it's actually a bit of a spoiler, going to be one of my aims for next year. Is actually going to be to find either boxes or boxed versions of all of the consoles that I've got. So as you can see across the top now, we've got a whole raft of the PlayStations in the box. So up the top here we've obviously got PS4, 60 gig PS3, the satin silver PS3, sort of Japanese only. We've got both of the versions of the PS2 black. I've got, you probably can't see it, but it's just up the top there, box for PSP, and then my original PlayStation boxed as well. So I think the big hitters that I really want to try and track down is the SNES, the NES, N64. I've actually got a box for my, I've got the original box for my GameCube. But the only thing I need to find is the inserts. I have found some on eBay, so I do need to pick those up when I can. What else have I got that I need boxes for? Original Xbox. I've got my Xbox 360 Slim. It would just be the fat versions that I need to find boxes for. All of my Ataris I need boxes for. So yeah, there are a whole load of consoles that I need to find boxes for. So that's one of my big goals for next year. And actually, probably one of the first ones that I'm going to try and track down is actually a box for my Wii U. So I think I've got a couple of active searches on eBay at the moment for those, because yeah, I would really want one of them boxed. But yeah, back to the Mega Drive box. So as I was walking through the boot fair, everyone was sort of driving in, just getting set up, and I was going through the second row, got to the last car in the row, and I was looking in the back of the car, and I saw this Mega Drive box, and I was like, how much do you want for the Mega Drive, mate? Because I knew that there was other people around that would have jumped on it. And then he turned around and he's gone, oh, it's only the box. Amazing, what do you want for it? And he was like, £5? Yeah. Could not give him my money quick enough. And actually I was walking around the boot fair with my friend Calvin. I think I've sort of, I think you tend to see him on a lot of my videos now because I walk around all the boot fairs with him. And he was saying that there was a reseller there that he buys and sells games. And he's overheard him saying to someone else, oh, what an idiot, he's just bought an empty box. And it was the funniest thing for me, and I think sort of even Calvin was saying, like, does he not, like, yeah, what was the deal there? Because yeah, so I paid £5 for this box. It's got the inserts in it as well, so literally all it needs is the console to go in, and I paid £5 for it. So looking it up online, the box only goes for £30. So yeah, really chuffed with that. Absolutely over the moon to have it. And yeah, it just made me laugh that a gaming reseller just didn't know that how much sort of boxes were worth on their own. But yeah, as I say, really chuffed to have it. It's actually been sitting in the corner of my living room since I picked it up, just waiting to film this video. But yeah, really happy to finally have a box for my Mega Drive, because yeah, as I say, the Mega Drive that I've got is my original Mega Drive from when I was a kid. I will say I've been quite fortunate in that regard, where I've always had an aversion to trading in games. So I do pretty much have all of my original games and consoles. I think the only ones that I don't have are a collection of PS2 games, which I have now replaced. They are back in the collection, but at one point I had all of the Grand Theft Autos, the Getaway, and there was a load of others. But yeah, I've obviously lost them in a move somewhere. But they are now in the collection. I have got them in, so that's not too bad now. But yeah, so as I say, one of my big aims for next year is going to be to actually get boxes. But don't tell me, what I will say is there is a really big console purchase that I want to make next year. I'm going to leave that. That's going to be a couple of weeks' time. That's going to be my first video of the new year. So I'm going to be filming that within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, to tick this one off so quickly was really good. So that is all of the pickups. So let's quickly run through the totals before we wrap this video up. So our total spend today was £58 exactly. If we picked everything up we could from CEX, we would have paid £79.50. And then if we got everything from eBay, we'd be looking at £142.50. So yeah, some monumental pickups there. As I say, over the moon with the massive PS4 bundle that we got. It's definitely going to start packing out my PS4 shelf, put PS4 shelves even more. I've got to remember now, we've got multiple shelves on the PS4. So yeah, really chuffed to have them. Absolutely over the moon to get a Switch game at the boot fair. But yeah, with that said, I am going to wrap the video up there. But if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Alright, bye!